You ever have someone talk down to you so much that their voice just becomes noise? Well, that was my husband. Until one day while I was folding his clothes, he said one sentence, one cruel, careless sentence, that flipped a switch inside me. And that's when I decided. His laundry was about to teach him a lesson he'd never forget. If you've ever wanted to serve justice to someone who couldn't stop putting you down, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. Because this is the story of the day I found peace through dryer sheets. VO, reflective tone. Many years ago, I was married to a man who could only be described as exhausting. He wasn't physically cruel, not in the obvious way, but he had this special talent for making me feel small, every single week. It didn't matter what I did. Cooked dinner, cleaned the house, paid the bills. Somehow I'd done it wrong. If I folded towels, they weren't even. If I made dinner, it was too salty. And if I dared to have a moment to myself, I was lazy. He had a complaint ready for every breath I took. And the thing is, after a while you stop hearing it. His voice just becomes this constant static in the background, like the hum of the fridge or the rattle of the washing machine. One afternoon I was in the laundry room doing his clothes again. I had just moved a fresh load into the dryer when he stormed in mid-complaint, like always. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what started it. Probably something about how I used too much detergent, or didn't separate his shirts right. I remember just standing there, sorting laundry, nodding, pretending to listen, while my brain screamed for quiet. Then, right in the middle of his rant, he said it. The sentence that made my hands freeze over the pile of clothes. You know, I should have married your cousin instead of you. In that second, my entire body went cold. I come from a big family, and growing up I was always compared to my cousins. Prettier one, the smarter one, the one who married well. So hearing him say that, like I was some second-rate version of someone else, it wasn't just cruel, it was intentional. And something inside me snapped. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I didn't even look at him. I just opened the cabinet above the washer. And there they were, lined up like fate itself had placed them there. 5 boxes of dryer sheets. He was allergic to them. Severely. But of course Mr. I'm always right refused to believe that. He insisted his mother used dryer sheets growing up. That's why his clothes were always soft. So he'd gone out, bought every brand he could find, and demanded I use them. Except, his mother had told me herself. Oh honey, we could never use those. He's allergic. I'd even told him that. But he didn't believe her or me. Because the only person who could ever be wrong was everyone else. He's still there in the doorway ranting. And I'm standing by the dryer, my hands moving on autopilot, when I grab a handful of those cursed dryer sheets. I can feel them between my fingers. Smooth, papery, smelling way too strong. I look right at him. He's not paying attention, of course. Too busy hearing his own voice. So I drop the handful straight into the dryer. He doesn't even blink. Doesn't notice. And as that machine starts to tumble, something inside me, something that's been beaten down for years, starts to rise back up. Power. Control. Ease. For once, I was the one making the rules. I didn't stop there. Every new load of his laundry got its own special treatment. A handful of dryer sheets, sometimes 2. And the bedding. Oh, the bedding got extra love. 2 full handfuls, pressed right between the sheets. The ones that would brush against his skin all night long. He watched me load the dryer each time. He saw it. But he was so caught up in his own arrogance, so sure he was untouchable, that he didn't even question it. That night we went to bed as usual. Except I was smiling just a little. As soon as the lights went off, it began. First the sniffles. Then the snorting. Then the sneezing. It was like sleeping next to a broken tuba. Every few minutes he'd groan, scratch his arms, complain about the itchy sheets and dust in the room. I'd murmur, half asleep. Oh honey, maybe it's just a cold. But inside, I was purring. I drifted off to sleep to the sweetest lullaby I'd ever heard. The sound of poetic justice, wheezing through his sinuses. For the next few weeks, he was miserable. Constant congestion. Red, irritated skin. Watery eyes. He went through boxes of tissues like they were snacks. He tried changing pillows, sheets, even blamed the cat for a while. But no matter what he did, the allergy followed him. Because it wasn't where he slept. It was what he wore. Every single thing. Dryer. He had no idea that his misery was spinning, tumbling, and softening right there in his own dryer. And here's the best part. It didn't stop after a week. Or even a month. It lasted for months. Until one day, every last box of dryer sheets finally ran out. And just like that, his mystery illness disappeared. It's been decades since then. We divorced. Surprise, surprise. And I've never looked back. He probably still thinks he had some weird seasonal allergy back then. Maybe he even blames me for not buying the right antihistamines. But me. Every time I walk down the laundry aisle and catch a whiff of those soft floral dryer sheet scents, I can't help but smile. Because for one brief, beautifully scented moment, I reminded him that words do have consequences. Especially when you say them to someone who's been quiet for too long. He wanted soft clothes. He got soft clothes. And a head cold that lasted all season. He wanted to feel like a king. Instead, he was brought down by the thing he thought he was immune to. His own arrogance. And me. I found peace in the hum of a dryer, and the softest revenge money could buy. You know, people think revenge has to be loud. But sometimes the quietest acts, the ones that look like kindness, sting the most. He yelled, smiled, and the universe handled the rest. If this story gave you chills or a satisfied grin, smash that like button, and tell me in the comments, what's your favorite kind of petty revenge? And of course, subscribe for more stories that prove sometimes karma needs a little push and a few dryer sheets.